Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part of Traci Reed's YouTube hop using her new collection Fierce, which is a collection she's released for Pride Month. It's been something she's been wanting to do for many years and she's finally doing it. There's a list of all the participants in the description box below, along with a link to buy Fierce if you fancy having a go playing along with it. This collection, it is very Pride orientated, but there are papers in it that are fairly neutral as well. I'm going to be doing today a layout in my Conqueror book for my walks, and as you can see here, I've printed off some bits of paper that are very neutral. Okay, you've got a rainbow there, but rainbows can be used anywhere, so you can use this collection for other sorts of things. I'm doing this as well, this Dad's So Proud of You and free mum hugs. That's my daughter. She is gender fluid, I think is the correct term. She'll probably correct me, but I'm going to use, as I say, these bits of papers. The photo is obviously the placeholder photo, which I use every month. I'll be putting that in. I've got one of the TN signatures to use, and then I've just printed off some of the embellishments that I think I'd be able to use with this layout. As I say, the hearts in here are all the ones I've chosen for very neutral. I've chosen some little stars. They have got different tails to them pertaining to each of the different LGBTQT things, and I like that free mum hugs because I'll give hugs to anybody. Okay, so I'm going to put you on fast forward and here we go. So here we go, creating the page. I used the Traveller's Notebook signature, which I'd forgotten that I actually made my Traveller's Notebook a bit wider than a signature. So although I cut this to the right length, or printed out the right length, it's a little bit on the narrow side. So I do make some flags to go down the side of this Traveller's Notebook signature using those papers that you can see on the left. Now the papers on the left, what I actually did with that was in silhouette, I brought in the 12 by 12 papers, and then I used the crop function just to print out a section of each of those onto one sheet of A4 paper, as I didn't need all of the papers printed out. So it's saving myself some ink and saving myself some paper. It works really well, and you can just choose the colours that you want or the patterns that you want. So having cut those off the sheet, I then tore strips of 3 of the colours, the purple, the blue and the rainbow, to put at the top of the page. The tearing just gives a bit of extra texture to the page, because otherwise it can be a bit flat when it's all just paper elements on here. And I do like tearing papers. I really like a torn edge. So as we're putting this down, the photo again I'm using is the one that I use for as a placement photo for each month. So what I've done, you'll see later, I actually want to use a bigger photo on this, so I stick it onto a piece of just a piece of scrap card, the right size for the photo, and at the end of each month I put in a photo that Penny and I have taken during that month on our walks, and replace this holding photo, and I also fill in the amount of miles that I've walked and the amount of kilometres that she's walked. She's a youngster and works in kilometres, and I work in miles, except she works in miles if she's driving, but when she's walking she walks with kilometres. I'm just a miles person. I can't work in kilometres, although I do my cooking in grams. I measure in centimetres and in inches. I'm a right muddler. We went into decimalisation in the UK in 72, I think, and I was 6 years old then, so I remember pounds, shillings and pence, but I wasn't taught at school with pounds, shillings and pence. I was actually taught metric, so I was taught kilometres, grams and everything, but my mum always taught me cooking using pounds and ounces, so I've used pounds and ounces for a long time. Still talk about miles, and I don't use kilometres. And as I say, I can measure in inches and in centimetres. Neither of those bothers me, so I'll switch it up to whichever is easier to do. Can make life a little bit complicated, and but hey ho, it's life. Anyway, back to the layout. I've now taken another piece of that purple paper and torn that and put it at the bottom of the page, which nicely rounds off this side of the page. And now what I'm going to do is create some flags to go down the left hand side of the traveller's notebook. So I'm taking those papers, cutting them all to about 1 inch. This paper here was one that misprinted. I'd done the similar thing for creating a 12 by 12 layout, and this page misprinted from the way I wanted it, so I thought I might as well use some of the paper from the top just to give me what's it, the fourth different colour for alternating down that page. So I've got the red, the purple, the blue, red, purple, blue, rainbow. So it gives me 5: red, purple, rainbow, blue, and this word one. So as you can see, I'm putting notches into each of the little bits of paper that I've cut, and I don't make them all the same length. I do, as I'm sticking them down, as you'll see here, I stuck it a little bit shorter, so just to give it a little bit variation there. And then I just alternated the colours going down the page to finish this left hand side off, so you don't see that at the edge of that traveller's notebook card. Don't make you watch me doing all of that. I think we fast forward in a minute and you'll see it's all done after this one, I think. There we go. So that's all done. So the next thing to do is trim off the bits that I didn't need. There we go. And you can see I've overlapped the flags and they're all slightly different lengths. I'm now taking the June card. Now that was on a 3x4 card, and I just got a punch and punched that out into a circle and then inked it round with the barn door distress ink again, and then decided to bump it up on a bit of foam. I haven't used too much foam in this notebook because I didn't want it getting too thick. This is the last spread in this notebook, so I've done the first 6 months in this notebook, so I'm going to have to make myself a new one for July. I'm having great fun doing this, actually, using the collection, the release each month to create these pages. It's stretching me, making me think, because this collection is perhaps one that I wouldn't have purposefully gone out and bought, but actually with the way my daughter is and her friends, it's a really nice collection, and I'm going to have quite a lot of fun creating a few layouts with it. You will have already seen my 12 by 12 layout, which came out on release day, which is all about my daughter. And I've got one more layout, I think, to come using this collection. So here we are, backing up. I decided to back the photo on some purple as well, which you can't see very well with this holding photo, but I will, when I print out the photo to go on there, make sure you can see the purple border. Then I grabbed this word card. I can't remember what it says. You'll be able to see in a minute. Here to support. Here we are, here to support, which I am. I support my daughter in everything that she does and who she is. Her friends are all, I don't think she's got one straight friend, as she said the other day. They're all different. I get on with all of her friends. They're all such wonderful people. I've got one of my very close friends, her child has transitioned. So we've gone through it with a lot of people, and I use the they them pronouns for my daughter's friends, and she's so very, very open to everybody. And as I say, I just want people to be happy. Anyway, back to the layout. I picked these stars out to use as an embellishment and popped a couple over the little labels. On the labels I will write the miles and kilometres that Penny and I have both walked for June, and decided to pop another star over the June date, which I liked the look of. And then I had one star left that I'd printed out and just tucked it under the purple bit of paper at the top, so it just showing out underneath, and I liked the way that was. I'd also printed out Tracy had done the word mum, M-U-M, for us, and so I printed it out and then stuck it over the mum hugs, I think it is what it is, says on that sign. And then when I was printing some more stickers from the sticker pack out today, I realised that she'd actually done that sign with mum spelled M-U-M, which is how we spell it in the UK. So you don't have to do what I've done. You can actually find the signs with the M-U-M spelling on if you look through the sticker pack. So it looks okay. I'm quite happy with it, but I won't have to do that on the next layout that I'm doing. Okay, so I'm now just popping down some of the smaller hearts which I'd printed out. and then I will write onto the labels my name and number of miles walked, Penny's name, number of kilometres walked, and I just leave that the actual number area free to fill in at the end of the month. Finishing off with a few of these little puffy stars that I'd bought from a local shop. And here we are. Here is the finished layout. Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you don't already. There is a list of all the participants of the hop in the description box below and on Tracy's blog. Bye!